Good afternoon, everybody. I gather you here today to speak on our focus student, Mark Edwards. Just do a roll call. A general education teacher here,
Kristen Pelton, present.
paraprofessional here,
Shana McClendon, present.
reading partner here.
Diana Mitchell, present.
Good, we're ready to vote. Okay, so our focus student is Mark. Mark is to have a vigorous life so far. His living condition is very bad. He grew up in a single parent household with his twin brother, younger brother, uncle, and grandmother. Mark is 9 years old, biracial, African American, with Latino descent. He resides in a low-income community called Bernard Baruch Housing. That's like 2 minutes away from the school. Mark is currently in the 4th grade at the Island School. You all know that. During my time observing Mark, I noticed that Mark is always unmotivated to do his assignment. He struggled with communicating with his class. Mark had been classified as having a learning disability. In comparison, Mark is interested in basketball, football, rap music, video games, fashion, and wrestling. Throughout my conversation, Mark told me that his parents put him in football team, a basketball team in his community. He's very competitive and he strives to becoming a great athlete. At lunchtime, as I observed Mark, he's always play fighting with his classmates or trying out new basketball moves that he's seen on TV. When I sit down and converse with him, he expressed everything that's going on in his uncle's career, his favorite basketball player, and his new sneakers. But I would like to say, in my opinion, from my observation, Mark is a very brilliant young man with many abilities and attributes. However, he struggled during reading. He did not read a lot at home. Mark doesn't read with his parents. So that kind of hindered his thinking ability a little bit. He struggled with phonological awareness. Furthermore, when Mark is assigned independent reading, he quickly falls asleep. So his attention span for reading is very low. Also, he has a rough time comprehending what he just read. I believe sometimes Mark has a hard time comprehending what he just read because he struggled with tricky words and he spent so much time trying to get the tricky words that he often forget. I know, for example, one time I asked him, well, what is the main idea of this text? He told me he didn't understand the main idea because he was busy trying to figure out the tricky word on the page. Mark is looked at as an unintelligent child by his classmates. When he attempts to read, sometimes they poke at him, they laugh at him. Under his breath, he hears these things, and this sometimes make him become unmotivated to progress or to read more. And I feel like he has a hard time with understanding math. In his math class with Miss Gordon, he knows his multiplication table very frequently, but when it comes to word problems, he tends to not comprehend what the word problem is asking him. During my 3 months of observing Mark, I've seen some growth in math skills when I work with him closely, so maybe I think he needs more attention when it comes to math and maybe reading also. Also, he's less focused due to his inability to read. I think Mark is a very practical learner. I noticed that he learns best when he's guided by real world experience. I know during math, when he have trouble with equivalent fraction, I related to basketball and how a basketball player can shoot so many times and it will be out of a number. And he'll know, like, okay, this is how you do solve equivalent fraction, or he will have the concept of solving equivalent fraction. Some accommodation modification that I feel like Mark should have is maybe we should give him an audio book, YouTube. When everyone is reading the regular book, you go on YouTube and listen to the book because they have iPads in the school. I think a reading pen would be very helpful for him. A reading pen allows you to trace over the word and you can hear it, find the definition, and it will sound the word out for you guys. I also think we should allow him extra time on his assignments and give him fewer problems for homework. General education teacher, do we have any modification or accommodations for Mark?
Absolutely. As you all heard, Mark is a struggling reader and he also struggles to communicate with his classmates. I think that introducing him to close proximity to either one of us in the classroom will first of all put a halt to the falling asleep during independent reading. Like you said, he's unmotivated, so that close proximity will also give us an opportunity to motivate him one-on-one, have him feel that someone is engaged. I do think that a buddy system, a reading partner will work well with him, but not until he gets the phonological awareness down So we can implement that once we see that he knows all of his letters and the letter sounds associated with such.
Paraprofessional?
Well, as you stated, Mark is able to apply his word problems with real life experiences. So with the permission of his teachers and et cetera, I would like to view his word problems beforehand and perhaps tailor it in a way that it can be conducive to his learning ability. Also, I would probably suggest visual support, because Mark is a student where if he sees text only, he tends to lose focus, fall asleep. So perhaps a visual support will help him gain focus better. Due to his impairment with decoding text, I would suggest that I would probably read aloud part of the text to him in order to keep his attention. I think it's very good that what you do is you check in with him frequently to check his understanding. You pause in between his reading to check his understanding to see if he understands the main idea.
Reading partner, your final thoughts?
So what I was thinking is in regards to the reading time that you're saying that he just basically falls asleep. I think first of all, we have to start with reading time goals for him. So incrementing it. So whether it's starting, the first week, trying to just get him to read 10 minutes for 10 minutes and having him accomplish that. Then the next week, whether we're adding 2 more minutes per week, just so that we can get him to a steady pace of how much he can read. So that was my first thing that I had written. My other thing that I was modification was his reading. If he's more into sports, let's start creating more text for him that's going to be sports related. And in regards to that, maybe in the first couple of weeks when we're doing the reading time goals, we're not trying to get him to read a book. We're trying to get him to read an article. And he might, let's find out what his 5 top basketball players or football players are, and let's try to get some articles on them. So this way he's both getting something that he's interested in and it's real time, as what we were discussing before. So the shorter readings with check-ins. So going back to that, what you are discussing is if he's reading something, he struggles, let's have him read it again once he's figured out the word and see if now once he reads it a second time, if he's able to decode what he just read. One other thing that I wanted to follow up with was in regards to his writing. I know that we were discussing, more towards the reading for me, but the reading and writing is going to go hand in hand. I would suggest maybe trying to have him, instead of him doing his nightly writings, maybe try and have him do a rap and see if that would, if he can accomplish that. Because if it's something he's interested in and the music, you might find that musically he's going to be able to write better musically, and we can maybe look at how that facet.
Okay. So I'll just wrap it up, casting a vote. All vote for the general education, real life experience, and implementing a buddy system once he get his phonetical awareness together. Say aye.
Aye.
With a paraprofessional, visual support and read aloud half part the text to him. Say aye.
Aye.
And for the reading partner, suggesting more sports text in the classroom for him, and maybe giving him more reading time goals, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and have him write a rap or / poem for his writing assignment for homework. Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you guys for your wonderful time. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck with him.